Hello everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I'm showing a layout for GoGo Getaway. At our GoGo Getaway Retreats we set challenges, and this is my mood board challenge set by me, this is my layout that I made for that challenge. So at every GoGo Getaway retreat, each member of the design team will set a challenge. There's normally 8 in total, plus some other bits and pieces here and there as well. And then we obviously all make sample layouts, and this is my sample layout for that mood board challenge that I set. So my mood board challenge was kind of greeny colours, and it was kind of tropical. It would be good for safaris or anything animal related, but it would also be great for tropical holidays and things like that. So there's all manner of things you could do. It's anything. It has a compass on it, so it could be anything travel related. So basically just you can take as much or as little as you like from a mood board. I really went for the whole animal print theme because I've got animals on this layout, I've got a compass and lots of and some animal prints and things like that. So I did lots of things that I took inspiration from the mood board, but you could interpret it in a completely different way to what I have done. You could just use the colours, for example. You could just use the compass, for example. You could use the phrase Hakuna Matata. You could just use that as your title, for example, and that could be about anything because that means no worries, right? So it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be Lion King related or jungle related or anything. So take as much or as little from a mood board as works for you. So what I'm doing is I am going for animal theme because I have photos of my little boy doing a school assembly, and they were reenacting a book called Dear Zoo. And he was the zookeeper, so he was the star of the show, and he walked the animals backwards and forwards for each. It's a repetitive book, so for each thing, he went and got the animal. They brought them to the middle of the stage, and then they said their lines, and then he went and took the animal to sit back down. And these are all children, by the way, the other animals. So anyway, he was a zookeeper, so it was very cute that he was on the stage the whole time, and he did brilliantly. He had a lovely little outfit and a cute zookeeper hat. So anyway, so this layout is about that. So the animal thing works really, really well for me. So okay, I am using the Into the Wild collection by Simple Stories. I have chosen to go for a really busy animal print paper as a portion of my background. Now you can see I'm really struggling with it. I wanted to use pattern paper on the bottom half of the layout as well, but I just wasn't feeling it. Also, the background of my photos is really blue. It's that real royal blue. It's not my favourite colour. I was really struggling to make this whole thing work. I wanted to use this top half of the layout for sure. And then I thought it would look better if I mounted it onto orange, so I did that. And then I decided it would look better if I didn't use any of that brown at all, because I was really trying to get all of these prints in, but it just wasn't happening for me. And in the end, I decided to just go for the white background with the orange trim, and then I'm still trying to use the brown, but no, I really don't like it. And I say, the bigger problem is the fact that I really don't like my photos either. School photos are never very good, are they? So I'm really struggling. I've decided to go for the brown, and then I decide that it's got to come off at some point as well, and then it comes back off again. So I end up with just white. So the struggle is real. Just please be aware that none of us are perfect, and we get things wrong, and you see these amazing design team layouts, not by me, but other people, and you think, oh God, how do they come up with that idea? Well, certainly for me, there's a lot of faffing around, there's a lot of trial and error and things that don't work. Anyway, so in this occasion, I really wanted to use that brown print, didn't work, so I had to axe it. And then these photos, it's difficult because I've got other people's children in them, which I don't really want to put on there, not because I don't like them, but because you're not supposed to upload photos of other people's children on Facebook or anything like that. So I was just a bit mindful of that. So and the background was awful as well because of the blue background that didn't go with my layout. So what I decided to do was cut out my subject. Now, he's very tiny, so I now wish that I had printed these photos much bigger. If I'd known I was going to do this, I probably would have printed the photos much bigger in the first place, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I came up with this while I was making this layout, and it was too late to reprint photos at this point. So I just went with it. I went with what I've got and made it work. And I've still got another child in the photo, but I'm going to cover him up with something in a moment. Yeah, I'm already feeling a lot happier with the layout, even though my photos are now super duper tiny compared to what they were. I'm much happier with that, with no blue background, and I'm happier with the white background. Yeah, I'm just really feeling that things are moving on a lot better, even though the beginning of this layout was a huge struggle for me. It just wasn't working at all. I had this great idea in my head and it just wasn't working. But now I've got to the point where I've tried a few different things, and I'm happier with how things are looking for sure. So now I just need to get my photos into place and get things added and embellished. At the moment I've created this little scene down the bottom with the 2 giraffes and the zebra. Not sure they're going to stay there. They actually don't stay there. But I'm thinking about them. Oh, and then I tuck them up here, and actually that works a lot better. And then I get this idea that I'm going to cascade this layout down to both sides. I'm going to put my title there in the middle. So I've got my 2 photos that I have cut out, and then I've got this random child that I'm just going to cover up with a lion. And then I'm going to use Dear Zoo as my title. So I found the word zoo. That was part of one of the pieces of ephemera, I believe. So I've just cut that out. And then I'm using some alphabet stickers to write the word dear. Dear Zoo. And that's a really good reminder for me when I look back at this in years to come, that is what they were doing. Because it's entirely likely that I will forget that story. So that's things are building up a lot better now. I'm happy with all the main elements on my layout. So now I can move on to the fun part, which is all the embellishments. So I really want to use all these tropical leaves because of the tropical leaves on the mood board, I'm going to tuck those in and say, and this is how I kind of got the idea to cascade things down the side, because you can really have the leaves all trailing and looking pretty there. So, and then that just kind of creates this big central zone for my photo and my title. So I'm just going to build up on those and just start adding loads of ephemera and embellishments to the layout. The top half of the layout is already very, very busy, so there's only so much that I can do in order to without overcrowding it. So I just have to be very mindful of that. But I'm really happy to see those 2 giraffes looking into the photos. The zebra on the left, he's kind of facing the photos, but he's actually looking the other way. But that works. Koala bears coming in there now on the side. I've got some tropical leaves I'm adding in there as well. It's coming together. I'm just going to distress the edges of that title and get that popped up on foam pads. And I just want to add a little bit more around the title too, other embellishments and that kind of thing. It's all moving along nicely. Okay, so I've skipped forward slightly. I've added a few more bits and pieces. I've added enamel dots. I've added foam stickers. I've added decorative brads. And now I'm just adding a few sequins. I've also added some label stickers as well. But it's going to get those sequins added. They're kind of cascading down, extending out those 2 sides a bit more to create this kind of like big semicircle, if you like, around the middle. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I just think it's really fun, a bit different. Good use of that crazy paper for the background. Just adding in a few sequins now. I really feel like I have used the mood board a lot. I've got lots and lots of things on the mood, including the words Hakuna Matata. That's from one of my label stickers, bottom right. So I was really pleased to have got that in and to use so many things from the mood board. So I've added my journaling underneath my title, and I'm now just adding in some splatters of white paint. So I'm just going to add all of those splatters in, just going over those two main areas, a little bit around the top as well. And that's pretty much done, other than I'm now going to add a few Bramble Fox perspectives that I found in my stash. So I had some tropical leaves. They're actually mostly autumny leaves, but they work okay for tropicals. So I've just put a few of those in. I've got a pink one, I've got some brown leaves. Goes really well with the colours. Just tucking those into different places on the layout. There's a pink flower going on there. Oh, it's not a flower, it's a leaf. But so some of those were autumny style ones, but they work well. I'm happy to add them and get them used. And just some splatters over the top of them as well. There we go. And that is my layout complete. So I really hope that you enjoyed this layout and seeing them together. And if you joined in with the challenge at GoGo Getaway October 2022, then I hope you enjoyed seeing this as well. Thank you so much for joining me. That was Nikki Rowland for GoGo Getaway.